Well, Eli Lilly is slashing prices for certain doses of its weight loss drug, Zepbound. The drug maker is now selling single dose vials at much cheaper prices for people who pay out of pocket, as appetites, if you will, for obesity drugs continue to soar across the country. So, for more on this, let's bring in Dr. Timothy Mackey. He is a professor in the Global Health Program at the University of California, San Diego. Thanks for joining us. So first off, why is Eli Lilly doing this?
Eli Lilly is doing this in direct response to the rise of telehealth and compounding pharmacies that are providing these drugs very easily and accessible. You might have been exposed to a lot of advertisements about getting GLP-1s through a telehealth provider. And this is a way for them to provide another channel of access to patients and a different type of product at a lower price.
So I want to talk a little bit about the compounding pharmacies. But first, I just sort of generally want to ask you, why is Zepbound so popular? Why are we seeing, is this like just an overall increase in people wanting access to these weight loss drugs, or Zepbound in particular?
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting case study of a drug that is a blockbuster drug because it has such a wide indication. There's so many people that could benefit from this product. But at the same time, there's been a lot of promotion of the product outside of traditional channels by celebrities, by the general public. So there's a lot of knowledge about these GLP-1s being used for weight loss management, even though some of the drugs are only approved for diabetes, type 2 diabetes. So it's consumer demand that's driving these different ways that manufacturers and also telehealth providers are trying to provide access to these drugs.
Okay, so you brought up something that was very interesting about these compounding pharmacies, which are pharmacies that, use the active ingredients in these weight loss drugs, tirzepatide and semaglutide, and to create something very similar to the brand name products. But it also means that people can access them without prescriptions. And certainly some people have prescriptions and they, maybe it's very expensive for them and they can't keep up with their prescriptions. So they might also turn to compounding pharmacies. And so I want to ask you, is there a concern about sort of the easy access to these types of drugs, even if they're not kind of the brand name ones?
Yeah, absolutely. So because there's so much demand, there's so many channels of access. And one of them is through the telepharmacies or telehealth providers that studies have shown that they provide very easy access, and sometimes that prescribing may not be as medically appropriate as it would be if you went to a clinician who knows you, who knows your health history, et cetera. So there's one risk there that people could be getting it when maybe it's not as necessary as it should be. And then you have an online pharmacy market that sells it with no prescription. You can search that via Google. We've done studies on that, and we've detected product that was not authentic and potentially dangerous. So you have that channel as well. And that's why manufacturers like Eli Lilly are trying to create another pathway where hopefully you can gain access to the legitimate product. But at the same time, they are trying to capture that market share back of that product, that they're trying to sell and profit on.
And Eli Lilly has said that if you want to get this single dose Zepbound, you would be doing it through their website, through their kind of online access, so you would know that it's the legit product. But I found it also curious that they had moved into that direction to provide the drug to people who want it.
Yeah, absolutely. The United States is one of only two countries that allow this direct-to-consumer advertising that you see on TV that advertises drugs to people. This is a move to really engage more directly with the patient, have a patient relationship. You go through their portal, you go through their telehealth provider, potentially. They have links to telehealth providers on the website. And then you get the product shipped to you directly. And most of the time you're paying out of pocket. So this is a very different model of engaging directly with the patient and hopefully keeping that patient interested in your product. And yes, the lower prices on the vials, but maybe the vials aren't the thing that you want to have, and you switch over to a pen that's more expensive. And so there's many ways for the manufacturer to keep that relationship with the patient. And ultimately, they want to make sure that they can continue to sell these products in the long term.
So it's good for the Eli Lilly to keep the relationship with the patient, but it also kind of goes around the patient's personal doctor. Is that a concern?
Yeah. Absolutely. So in this case, you do have to have a valid prescription in order to get, this product delivered to you via Eli Lilly. But that physician-patient relationship can happen in many different ways. It can happen with a telehealth provider. Instead of your general practice physician that you have a long relationship with, knows your full health history, and knows that weight loss management is a very complex issue that includes all types of things like diet and exercise. So that's a big concern around among people in the public health space is this going to lead to a lot of overprescribing and people not getting the benefit of these drugs because they're not taking a holistic approach to their weight loss management?
Really interesting. Dr. Timothy Mackey, thank you so much.